Hello, soil heads. It's Greg Allison with Green Greg's coming to you live from my bug out cabin somewhere within 20 miles of Snowflake, Arizona. Guys, it's serious right now. Things are getting really bad fast. Uh, I'm really surprised at the pace of things, but I've got some shocking news to share with you. First, I'm going to make sure I've got my live pulled up here on my uh, laptop here, not laptop, on my phone, so I can keep up with the chat. Give me a second, it's not showing it right now. That's crazy. But anyway, I assume I'm live. Let's see here. There it is. All right, good. I'm gonna have to turn the sound down. Bear with me, bear with me. How come it's not coming up? Oh well. Here's the situation, guys. I'm gonna try to work on that in a minute. I'm just gonna talk straight what's happening, and then I'm gonna get to that because we got to get the news out before we go to the chat anyway. Here's what's happening, guys. A few weeks ago, almost a month ago, Trump issued a warning to Iran. He told them point blank, he said, either you negotiate with me or you're going to be bombed, basically, is what he told them. And he actually went further on that. But now, what you may have noticed is, of course, there's a lot of, and you've probably heard us on a bunch of channels. I want to tell you some things you're not hearing on these other channels. There is probably up to 7, possibly 9 B-2 stealth bombers that's gone to Diego Garcia Island in the Indian Ocean, prepared for some kind of mission. Not only that, there's all kind of support aircraft, tankers, and other things in the area. This is a full-blown first strike capability that's been set up there. But what I haven't heard anybody else talking about is this. The Iranian military, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, has come out and advised that they conduct a preemptive strike on Diego Garcia, a preemptive strike. This is how serious it can get, how fast it can get bad. And the other thing that you're not hearing from other channels, they don't talk about this. I've warned you about this from way back since the inception of this channel, is that our power grid is at risk right here at home. If our power grid goes down, it's game over for us, guys. It's it. We're not talking about slicing. We're talking about destruction of major long distance transformers, the kind that you can't replace for years, the kind of which the National Electric Reliability Corporation put out a report saying that if 9 critical substations were taken out, that we would lose our grid. And immediately after they did this, the head of one of the minions of the military members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard went to the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and told them about this news as if it was great news. And his reply was just an off the cuff, I've already got 20 of these major substations targeted. Now, guys, this was about like 11 years ago. But we haven't had anybody crossing the border. We haven't had any possible additions to sleeper cells in America since then. Now, have we? Nah. You see, guys, this is the gravity of the situation. Power grid goes down with these substations. It ain't, the lights turn off and then they turn them back on. You fix them in 3 months. If they fry these big long-range transformers, it takes, originally we were told 18 months. Now we're told 24 to 36 months to get them on the loading dock to have them repaired. But we're also told that within the course of a year, this came out by the Congressional EMP Task Force, the Electromagnetic Pulse Task Force report, that stated that 9 out of 10 Americans would perish within a year, due to societal collapse. Our electric grid is the Achilles heel. It's the linchpin of all of our 14 critical subsystems in America. They all depend on electrical power. And a lot of these reports talk about all the things that would be done in response. I've heard some YouTubers, it was going on pretty good until they started talking about how everybody would respond with all these different systems that require electric power to operate. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Where's your brains at? You're not listening, not paying attention. You don't understand the gravity of this situation. Now, what we don't know is what is the threshold for activation of these sleeper cells. What we don't know is the efficacy of these sleeper cells. There's a lot of unknowns, but there's probably enough of them that they could do a lot of damage if activated. Is the activation point an attack by America on Iran? is attack their nuclear program crossing the red line, or is it a strike that would take out the regime itself? I'm against war. You know that if you've been paying attention to this channel, you know that I am no fan of war whatsoever. However, it must be stated that this may be going down. It may be going down fast. Now I could see Iran, here's what you got to know. The Iranians wouldn't be making those kind of statements out of the military if they anticipated that their regime were going to negotiate with America in such a way to mollify Trump's concerns. And furthermore, we do know that so far they've been rebuffing what Trump has been putting out. They mean, nah, we're not going to negotiate under pressure. We're not going to negotiate under pressure. Will this change their mind? There's some possibility that maybe they will flinch. Maybe they'll blink when they see what's down there. You know, a lot of people think that Diego Garcia is out of range of the Iranian systems. But some of the Iranians were talking, well, we should have hit this a long time ago. We do know they can launch satellites. If you can launch satellites, you can hit any place on Earth with that kind of launcher. It may not be within range of the typical ballistic missiles that they have, but they may have other systems. We do know they have submarines and some other little things, you know, not as good as ours, but they may have some capacity to strike that island. If they choose to strike that island, if they think they can take out these bombers, this is almost half of our critical bomber fleet. If they think they can take those out, if they make a strike on them, it's over, guys. That is Trump will be so incensed he will launch everything he can at Iran, and then it's game on. So that could happen like any minute. That's the gravity of where we're at. On the outside, informed sources think that Trump would be hitting Iran toward the end of April, maybe sometime during this month. There's other things in play here. You got to bear in mind. What are the 2 months that's most critical for China to take Taiwan? April and October, when the sea states are calmest in the Strait of Taiwan Strait. That is when they're most likely to strike that we're going to. If the United States is embroiled with Iran, how are we going to support operations over there too? And furthermore, if we're expending lots of our munitions fighting Iran, what do we got to deal with China? It's already said we didn't have enough to last but a few days in a war with China. How are we going to do that? What are we doing? What are our priorities? China is our biggest threat. Why are we dinking around with Iran in the first place? I really would like to see the chat room. See if I can bring this up. I'm clicking on it, and it's not opening for some reason. Jeez, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I'm going to come back out and come back in. View channel. There it is. There, I see the chat. Wow. Oh, we got 112 in the room. Fantastic. So, guys, here's the situation. And also, why is Trump suddenly sending all this stuff to Ukraine again? I mean, all at once, we're sending a lot of supplies and money to Ukraine all the time. So I'm sending this a little better. There we go. All the time that we are facing the biggest threat in China. We're serving Ukraine. You know, we're bound to Ukraine, and we're bound to, I guess, Israel. I mean, what fundamental threat does Iran pose to America outside of the Middle East? The only problem is we've got some little forces in the Mideast, which would be obliterated probably in a war, or at least struck real hard in a war with Iran. We've got 50,000 troops scattered throughout the Mideast, and little bitty encampments. These aren't major bases. A lot of them don't have missile defense systems. These are just little encampments here, there, and all over the place. A lot of them are. Lots of little bitty outposts, and encampments, which are very vulnerable to strike by Iran. They still have some proxies in Iraq. Now, it could be that this whole thing with the Houthis, that we attacked the Houthis because the Houthis started attacking our ships again. They started attacking our ships again because Israel hit a mosque. Now, maybe Israel hit a mosque. You know, they said they hit a mosque again and started, striking them and broke the ceasefire because they didn't release the hostages. Maybe that's it. maybe that's it. But then maybe it's also because they wanted Trump to authorize strikes. They knew if they hit Hamas, Houthis would attack again, and that Trump would then turn around and really hit the Houthis a lot harder than Biden ever dreamed of doing. I mean, he's going for the command centers. Biden never did that, which isn't a more effective way to deal with the Houthis than the whack-a-mole method. Oh, they shoot from a missile launcher here, you hit the missile launcher. They shoot from a missile launcher here, you hit that missile launcher, and they keep popping up all over the place. That was the whack-a-mole game the Biden administration played. So, arguably, Trump's method is more effective, but has it really been? How effective is it? And we still are wasting a lot of munitions. The truth of the matter is only maybe 1% of the U.S. trade goes through the Red Sea. It's mostly European trade. Why is it the Europeans in there taking care of the Houthis instead of us? Again, the Europeans, our so-called allies, are really slacking. And yet we are suddenly risking our whole country, perhaps with a war with Russia over Ukraine. For what? For what? To fight over a strip of eastern Ukraine that probably wants to be in Russia in the first place. Arguably, possibly. So why are we so devoted to that? Risking our country, risking our precious munitions, and again, with Iran. Had we not had forces in the Mideast, and we got no reason to have forces. I've said a long time ago on this channel, long before I moved out here, that we ought to withdraw from the Mideast. We got no business in it. We ought to just pull out. Israel can take care of itself for the most part, in reality, especially now that Syria has fallen. Now, what's most likely to take place if there's a conflict launched by Israel and America, provided there's no preemptive strikes from Iran? The most likely thing is that Israel now has access to fly over Syria, the northern part of Iraq, which is Kurd controlled, right into Iran. That's an access that they did not have before. And so they're quite likely to use that route, even if the other Sunni states, like Saudi Arabia, don't support them flying through there. So it's questionable whether Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates and those nations will allow Israeli overflight. They've talked about it in the past, thought they would. It's still a very questionable thing. But it's most likely they would go in and take out the radar sites, the SAM sites, and these kind of things that would make our B-2s most vulnerable. And then our B-2s would come in, and then Israel would also take some hits at the nuclear facilities there. And so would we afterwards. And we might do severe damage to them. But are we just going to deepen the resolve of the Iranian regime to produce nukes? And what if they did produce this? If America wasn't involved there, they wouldn't even be looking at us. It would be entirely a Mideastern affair. Why do we need to be involved? Here's what I like to see. If you think we should be involved, now some people do. We got a lot of strong supporters of Israel, and they got supporters of Ukraine too. I know that. But if you think we should be attacking Iran, put a 1 in the chat room. I like to see what you think. If you think we should attack Iran, vote a 1 in the chat room. If you think we should not attack Iran, and for those that comment later, do the same thing. Put a 2 in the chat room or a 2 in the comment section of the video. And I'd like to know what you guys really think about this. Where are you really at on it? Now, Israel, of course, is concerned because if Iran has nukes, and Iran has arguably threatened to take them off the map. So I understand Israel being concerned, because it would only take 2 to really do Israel in. If you hit Haifa and if you hit Tel Aviv, Israel's done as a nation. Two devices could take them out entirely. And it's possible Iran has had 2 all along, though, because there's been even 4. There's been quite a few reports, and I've heard them now from multiple credible sources. First, I heard this back right after the wall fell, the Berlin Wall fell, that Iran got, I heard originally 2, now I hear it's 4. 4 nuclear devices with actually the full-scale missiles from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan had nuclear stuff, and then they later turned over what they had to Russia. But at first, there was a period that some of the stuff may have been vulnerable, and Iran may have gotten some. And that may be why Kazakhstan turned stuff back over to Russia, kind of like how Ukraine turned stuff back into Russia. So, and here's another thing. If you want Iran to denuclearize, and it's going to be tough. Why? Because all they got to do is look at examples of what country was it that suddenly agreed to Bush. Okay, you put it to me. I see the danger of me pursuing nukes, so I'm going to give up all my nukes. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya. What did that buy him? Iran looks at that and goes, we don't want to go down that road. I would assume that's also been the thinking of Little Kim before he developed all his forces. When the country's pursuing nukes and they realize that if we do what the West asks and give them up, what's our prospects for survival then? The West Muammar Gaddafi wasn't very good, was it? See what kind of how we treat people that abide by what we ask them to do? Not very well. Not very well. In any event, my friends, this is a very, very, very concerning situation. Now, if there's a war to ensue, see how you guys are voting on that. If there's a war to ensue, we had a vote for 3. A vote for 3. All right, Peppermint Patty. What's 3? Michelle thinks we should attack. Okay. Jack's Ripper thinks we should attack. So some do think so. New Day thinks that we should attack Iran. Okay. Well, I'm not for war if we can avoid it. Again, I really would like to see your thoughts on why you think Iran would be a threat to the United States if they had a nuclear program, if we weren't involved in the Mideast. Now, if we're involved in the Mideast and we're supporting Israel, I can see where they would come from. But Iran knows that we've got overwhelming forces, at least strategic forces, and with nuclear weapons, they'll never match them. And now their alliance with Russia and China. And China's the one that stands to be the biggest loser because China gets so much of their oil from Iran right now. China would be the biggest loser in this conflict, except for the idea that it may give China the distraction they want to take Taiwan. And the timing is perfect for that. So what are we choosing this time? What are we thinking? Really, what are we thinking to time it such that things might be going down in this month? That's highly questionable to me. Highly questionable. So, and look, everybody's free to have their opinion. You're free to speak your mind here as long as you're respectful and don't use profanity. This is a family channel. If you're not respectful, and if you use profanity, especially, my mods will take care of you. But your own opinion, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I like to hear your opinions. So some channels don't like that. If you don't agree with a person talking, he just says, boom, you're gone. I don't agree with that. I believe in freedom of speech. So that's one thing that sets me apart from some. I'm going to check the chat here in a little bit. I'm trying to get the news out for the Coffee Club members in the morning. So I'm here in Snowflake, Arizona. And as a warning to people watching my videos, if you are a snowflake, you might melt. You might not be able to stand what I'm putting out if you are a snowflake. Also, if you're a flat earther, you might not be happy with some of my content. So just keep those things in mind. And for those that don't know, I am a worm farmer and a spaceman. So caution, wormholes abound around here. Anyway, gotta have a little fun. Yeah, I got some of my stuff back. As you can see, I'm unpacking a little bit, but not entirely. Found a few things, and we'll look at that a little bit. So, here's the thing that China's ready to hit Taiwan. They can hit them anytime. They probably would do a blockade, and if Taiwan don't fall, they could do a missile barrage. But actually moving in, when the sea states are best, is the best time for them to do that, and this would be one of those times if they choose to do so. So, message hidden for what is this? Cleaning up. That's a weird message. Deep function 100,000, but that's not something to be hidden. Oh, shoot. Another moderator beat me to it. I don't know what they did with it, but that was not a message to be hidden. Just kind of unusual. All right. I do believe in free speech, you guys. Gabby, good to see you. Vape King, Colorado Jan. 156 in the room. That's a good show for tonight in terms of people coming in. I think I'm on a little earlier, but mainly because I didn't string together a bunch of articles because I didn't really need to for the night. Because tonight we're talking about things that are important. Tonight, you got to realize if we get into war with Iran, we don't know what the threshold is for them to attack our substations here in America. That would be devastating to us. The Iranian leaders actually said they had something more devastating than nuclear weapons. That's the only thing I can think of, unless they got bioweapons. And they could, because bioweapons are considered a poor man's nuke. That's possible. That's possible. But I really think that they're talking about their capacity to take us down at our weakest point, the most easy target in America, our power grid, those substations. Something I have campaigned to harden long before I ever started this channel, because I already chaired 2 power grid defense conferences before I started this channel. And I'm a member of 2 national power grid defense organizations. So this is something I care about. This is something I worry about. I know the gravity. And the reason I became one of the biggest reasons I prep is because I understand the gravity of what this means. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't quite get it. Hey, I'm in my bug out location. I live off grid. I'm about this close to having my solar panels put together. I just got to build the racks to put them on. And I ordered wire over 2 weeks ago. I don't know why this company hadn't got my wire. I may have to go somewhere else and order wire from somebody else. They seem to be dragging their feet. That's all I need. The wiring and my racks put up. And then I'm going solar. I'm running off generators right now. It's very expensive. I did get my stuff out of storage. A lot of it was sitting under tarps in the yard. I got a Connex and filled it up. So yeah, I've been busy. It's one reason you hadn't seen from me much lately. And so I got a few things unpacked. You see some of my old things I used to see. I've got one of my rockets here. I don't know where my other I don't know where my SpaceX Starship rocket is. I don't know where my lunar globe is. The Space Pioneer Award. We got the National Space Society. I do have my HAL 5 award back here. And I got a saw up here. Given to me by one of my dear friends. Anyway, so you can see I'm starting to get back. You used to seeing a bookshelf behind me from back in the old days in Alabama. So maybe we'll start to resemble that look a little bit more. Not ever quite the same, because I got about 9x7 here for my study instead of a 12x20 room. This whole house is only 20 foot long and 10 foot deep on the outside. The walls are 6 inches thick, so that gives me 9 feet inside and width. But anyway, all that said, I'm living in my bug out location. I've bugged out. What are you doing? I mean, guys, you really need to consider your preps. It is time to take prepping serious, because we're not out of the woods. You know, Trump has come out being anti-war. He's come out supposedly trying to stop the mess in Europe, but he's got a special axe to grind with Iran, because he took out Soleimani, who authorized strikes on Americans. I get that. There's also a statement to Iran, say, hey, I don't fool around. Iran ought to understand that from that one event alone, that he means business. But yeah, there is that axe to grind with Iran, and Iran could be a lot of trouble. Could be a lot of trouble. If the grid goes down, you're going to wish you had prepped to the hilt. Oh yeah, look what gold's done. Look at the price of gold. When I started talking about the gold backs, I think gold was what, $1,700 an ounce. Now it's over $3,000. It's almost doubled. So my friends, and they say silver's really going to shoot up. So go to defythegrid.com and use code GreenGregs. If you do that, you get 1% off, and he only operates on a margin of 3 to 4%. So that's huge for him. And I'll get 1%. That's all I get with that. But that seems to be the thing that most people go for than anything else I promoted on this channel. I've talked. What you really need to do is go to True Leaf Market, or go to Eden Brothers. Right now it's time to get your seeds. I don't think anybody's ever bought seeds from that the whole time I've been promoting on this channel, because the only time I've ever seen any returns from that's when I buy seeds, and it's commensurate with the purchases I make from them. So I don't think anybody's ever done it. I don't know why. But, you know, you get heirloom seeds there. True Leaf Market. Now's the time to buy seeds, and now's the time to get serious with your gardening. I'm trying to put a garden in out here. I got me a bunch of horse manure. I got a little bit of cow manure, and I'm trying to get my tractor running where I can plow and disc up the hard packed soil to put all this stuff out on with some worm castings. and I need to build a barrier around to keep the rats and the deer out. But I'll be hopefully gardening in a few weeks. I'll share that stuff with you guys. I'm gonna do special videos on how I set up my solar panels. I've been asked for that kind of content for a long time. Well, I'm doing it now. I designed my own system. I didn't buy a kit. I designed it. I picked all the components. We're putting it together. Cross your fingers. Let's hope it works. But I will share that with you guys. I will do special videos on that and other content, homestead related content that I'll be producing out here. And when I get this place finished, I'll do another review of the house. It's still somewhat under construction, but I've been living it for a little while now. So just something to take in mind. That's a show. I hope somebody gave Gabby B a show because I hit show on that. Let him ice ate my corn. Well, they'll do that. We'll definitely do that. So, and thank you, Michelle, for sharing the links. That's the links you need to use. And a lot of people, the go backs are popular, you guys. That's the one thing that people have been going to. Marsh rabbits, no BS, no BS about what marsh rabbits. I'm giving you straight skinny, guys. And I'm talking about stuff you don't hear on other channels. You don't hear the threat to our power grid from the sleeper cells. You don't hear that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander said he had 20 stations targeted. Let's put something like here. Anyway, nothing down there to spill. That's funny. I'm barefooted. I did put the insulation under my house. Don't have underskirt. I don't have the underskirting, whatever you call it, around the house yet. Oh, we're getting blurred here. This camera's having a hard time focusing. There we go. So just those. Oh, horsey. Oh yeah. The horsey ain't BS, it's HS. But I do have some BS too. Really good. And some WS, worm. I did bring something out. I had a whole trailer load I was trying to bring back, but the tongue on the trailer snapped off and nearly flipped the vehicle pulling it. So, ooh, that was ugly. So that trailer unfortunately got left behind. Oh yeah, something else preppers might want to consider. What is this? Anybody gander a guess what I got in here? Let's see who can gander a guess on this one. No strong. Let's see if somebody can guess. This is every prepper ought to have this. It was real popular with the gold miners up in Alaska, probably a lot of other locations. I hope I mixed it up right. Yeah, my recipe said put so many grams of this and so many grams of that, and I can't find my kitchen scales. They're boxed up somewhere if one of my packers didn't abscond with them. They're popular amongst certain people for other purposes, other than nefarious purposes. Anyway, moonshine, says Ace Lee. How you doing, Ace Lee? White lightning. Moldy something. Lard says, new days. Lordy. Sourdough starter, Michael Sherman, gardening, woodworking, and more. You get the gold prize, the gold star. That's right. It is sourdough starter. Exactly. Exactly. It is sourdough starter. I hope I got it going right. You ever ate sourdough pancakes? I have. First one I was in Alaska many years ago. Anyway, I left Alaska 42 years ago almost. That's been a few months. Holy wacket smoke-a-moly. First time I ever went to Arizona was coming back from Alaska. Yeah, well, it wasn't too far. I went through Flagstaff and then went south to Phoenix and Tucson. Anyway, oh, alcohol is actually a big problem here in Alaska. Oh yeah, a lot of drinking in Alaska. When I was in Alaska, we had Bloody Marys and corned beef hash over poached eggs with well, I believe it's Heinz 57 sauce or something like that, or hot sauce for breakfast. Yeah, you'd be surprised. The things people dying on unless John Taylor. Is Sam Turner in the house? Sam Turner in the house? We haven't seen him in a while. I'd love to see Sam Turner. I've been worried about it because I hadn't seen him in a long time. He is the consummate prepper. Don't see. Sam Turner, if you're in the house, say hi. I'd like to hear from you. I've been worried about you. Anyway, I did read sourdough is one of the, if not the healthiest bread available. Yeah. Talk about Yankee food. Oh, Lord. Yeah. If when you're up in Alaska, everybody else is a Southerner from the Alaskan standpoint. Norway's in the house. All right. Very good. Good to see Norway in the house. Norway, one country in Europe's got the good sense not to join the European Union. So kudos to Norway. Special kudos. Oh, yeah. They're not playing the globalist game like a lot of the other countries over there. Oh, my gosh. Have you heard that the most popular candidate in France, they framed her for being president to run against Macaroni. They framed her and forbade her from running. Remember what they did in Romania? The guy who won the election, they suddenly just threw the election out. The judges everywhere are messing up with people's aspirations for freedom. Right here in the United States, even, right? We got judges trying to rule against what the electorate voted for in mass. So you got to watch these judges. They're suddenly thinking that they're legislators, legislating from the bench. That's not what they're supposed to be doing. Anyway, so I think the people in Europe got more to beef over with that. Maybe they will. Everybody over there in Europe outside of Norway will be Tartarians. And yeah, trying to House of Klaus is trying to sweep them all in and keep that going. Yeah, the globalist. So Homer, Alaska. Hey, we got Homer, Alaska in the house. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Yeah, I lived in Alaska 2 years. Loved it. Beautiful country up there. Beautiful state. Very beautiful state. Arizona's a beautiful state too. Anyway, so I did love my time up there. And there's a lot of preppers up there. There's a lot of preppers around here. So yeah, nice to have Norway in the house. Well, it was typical. Couldn't sleep, happily listening. Now, thank you, GG, says Peppermint Patty. Good to see you. So anyway, guys, so I really hope you are prepping. I hope you are taking this serious. I mean, what's happening with Iran could really put us in a world of hurt really fast, especially if Iran decides to take a preemptive strike. It could be game over anytime. I mean, seriously, this could happen any moment. We don't, like I said, we don't know what the threshold is for the sleeper cell activation. We don't know that. I have no clue what that threshold is. Hopefully it's so high it'll never be reached, but it could be. Another thing, y'all might remember, those who have been on my channel for 2 or 3 years might remember Stacy Zavicki. Stacy Zavicki had a vision. She had a lot of visions, very prophetic visions, and a lot of them were coming true. But this one, what really struck me, she worked in a dairy, milking cows. She saw my videos talking about EMP. She called me up, contacted me. We started talking. She said, Greg, what is this? What does this mean? She said, I had this vision of 2 missiles being launched from the Caribbean Sea, below the Gulf of America. And she said that time she said Gulf of Mexico, but she said they were being launched from off the shore of Venezuela, offshore, from ships. 2 missiles, and the power grid in all the eastern United States went down. She said she saw these 2 nuclear explosions in space. She did not understand that. She did not understand what it was. She asked me about it, and I told her what it meant, but it really shocked me. Because at that time, I hadn't really discussed this, that one of the biggest fears I had was somebody would do a sneak attack from our soft underbelly where we don't have all the radars monitoring from the south like we do from the north, looking for ICBMs from Russia and China and North Korea, which would mostly come over the North Pole, mostly, to come at us. So this is our soft underbelly. And the North Koreans had already done a dry run, apparently, because they had two missiles, fully erect missiles, and their missile launchers and ISO shipping containers. And they wanted to go around, was it Cape Horn, the one down below South America? I'm going to mix up sometime. And Cape Hope is Africa. But anyway, they wanted to go around there, but the weather wouldn't permit them. They had to get back. So they tried to hide these missile launchers under 10,000 tons of sugar, something like that, crazy amount of sugar they piled on top of it. When we went through the Panama Canal, they were stopped and inspected, and these missile launchers were found in their ship. And the ship was called the Chongqing. And this was in 2013. And while these things were floating around in the Caribbean Sea, maybe the Gulf of America, there was a hit on April the 16th of that year on the Metcalf substation that powers San Jose. And it looked like, according to the SEAL Team 6 guys that looked at it, a dry run exercise for taking down a substation. We did not to this day know who it was, but that was also the same day the North Korean satellite first went over Washington, D.C. Was this a dry run for a multi-pronged attack on America? Is this maybe what Iran would do? See, the problem with Venezuela, and this is something Stacy didn't know at the time, Venezuela is a very unstable nation. It is against us. It is communist, and they have close ties with Iran. Iran sends missiles there a lot and other armaments. North Korea, China, and Russia. If there was a launch from there, you wouldn't really know who did it if it exploded in space. And, you'd have to be able to get the isotopes on the ground to know, get some idea where it came from. But then our society would be collapsing already. I mean, literally collapsing. So, if something like that happened in a nation like China might just decide to send a few balloons over. I did a video a year or two ago talking about the threat of those Chinese balloons. A couple of years back, talking about how they could use those as EMP platforms, how it would be very effective sneak attack method. And I know and understand this because I launched balloons from ships at sea with rockets attached. I've done that, been there, done that 25 years ago. That's what I was doing. So I got personal knowledge of how this can be done. So that video was to the point. And so once these things the dominoes start falling, you don't know what could happen. So the late, great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry taught us that an EMP attack on America or any power grid attack would probably be a multi-pronged attack. It would probably start with hacking. It would have direct ballistic attacks on substations, so where somebody walks in with their nugs and goes bang, bang, or other methods, or several other methods to take those substations out. And it's what would happen if you fry those coils. If you cause them to overload, those big transformers are gone. These are 200 to 400 ton beasts, that are hand wound. Those big transformers are all hand wound, and a few experts really know how to do that right. South Africa had a grid outage and had a few burnout, so they tried to make their own, and they didn't last for 2 or 3 years. And it took them a while to do it, but they didn't have the right expertise. So this is a skill set that just a few people really have down pat. So this is critical, guys. This is very, very critical. We get our transformers from we were getting from Germany and South Korea. We don't manufacture. Now we're getting them from where? China. And China apparently has these backdoor devices they're putting in the stuff we're giving them. We'll probably just flip a switch and cause them to fry out, shut off, whatever they want to do. So there's a lot to be concerned with here, especially if this escalates, because China's not going to be happy in a way if we hit Iran, because that's their oil supply. But then again, they may be happy because it might give them the distraction they want to take Taiwan. It's also possible that this whole attack on Taiwan might be a diversion. China's true target might actually be Siberia. I'll go on that in the future. They got a lot more to gain in Siberia. And Sun Tzu teaches, you don't tell people what you're going to do, but they're just constantly broadcasting that they're going to hit Taiwan. Constantly broadcasting. That's very anti-Sun Tzu. Very everything that the Chinese military teaches and has lived by for a long time. Or maybe it's us. Maybe we're the target. I'll do some videos on that in the future. I've done some disturbing research with AI and got answers from it that really confirms things that I've said and talked about and believed all along. So I'm gonna do some videos on that when I get a chance. I've been exceedingly busy with this move thing, and so it's been hard for me to get in here and do videos. I got to get up really early in the morning for a meeting that occurs at 5 o'clock my time. So I got to get up 4:30 my time. It's already midnight my time, so I'm going to have less than 4 hours of sleep. So I don't have a lot of time, guys, but this is critical. I've been needing to come in here and tell you guys about this because we're on the threshold. We're on the threshold of us being directly involved in World War III. If we haven't already been, if you haven't already heard, now it's come out finally, thanks to the current administration looking into what happened in the past and Doge digging and some of that the generals, U.S. generals, were directly involved in picking the targets that the Ukrainians used. Now, that's what we expected all along. But now it's everybody knows. Our military was directly involved in picking targets in Russia, for the Ukrainians to attack. So Russia is not exactly happy, not exactly thrilled. Now, some people, I don't know, there's still prospects for negotiation there because, Trump, said he was the letter P off at Vladimir Putin over saying Zelensky wasn't a valid president, which many of us questioned that ourselves. But, and supposedly Putin snapped back with some stuff. But then they've come back and said, yeah, we're actually working toward negotiations with the United States. Could all be 4D chess. Some people even suspect that the B2s gathering at Diego Garcia are down there to attack Russia. I don't think that's the case, but that's what some people are putting out. I don't know, guys. That's kind of a far stretch. I don't think Trump would be that. I don't know. Right now, who knows? There's a lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns. But the bottom line is this. We could be on the threshold of all kind of mayhem. And aside from all this international stuff, just look what's happening here in the United States. I'm going to do a video. I've got everything dialed up. I actually got screenshots down. I've had them dialed up for a whole week. It's didn't have time to come on here. But I'm going to go on another channel, Sourdough and News, with a video talking about all these attacks on Tesla stations, Tesla dealerships, the rechargers, the vehicles, the people that drive them. The liberals are actually eating their own. That's going to be the topic of that video. The liberals are eating their own. If they would eat their own, what would they do to you? Because who bought all that stuff? Other liberals. They're really attacking their own people. They'll attack their own. What are they going to do with you? We are on the verge of major civil unrest right here in the United States of America. And it could get really ugly really fast. I think the 5th of April is one of the big protest dates. I don't know, guys. All I can say is you need to keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, like I always tell you. Eyes wide open and head on a swivel. You better be prepping. I know when Trump got elected, one of my friends said, he put a lot of money in prepping. He said, okay, I can sell all my stuff now. I said, oh, you better not. You better think again about that. Now, I think he probably is. Because there's still too many risks right now. The risks are off the charts. And there's still always natural things that could happen that could cause us to need to prep. Natural catastrophes. I mean, back in April 26th of 2011, we had major tornadoes that went through Alabama. Almost hit Browns Ferry, ripped up the power transmission lines. We were out of power for a week. And it would have been a lot longer had like the army base shut down for a month so they wouldn't be the consumers of power, to allow the civilian community to reestablish itself. And that was mighty nice of them. So we actually got power on it within a week. Some people were later, but that was a very interesting span of time. So when I first got my worms arrived like the day before. It maybe hit the 27th. My worms arrived on 26th. That's what I think it was. So yeah, my worms arrived. My first worms arrived one day before the tornadoes hit. So I call them my little red twisters. I am planning to do worms again. Here, I'm not going to sell at the level I was selling in the past. I don't know if I'll even sell by mail order or not. If I do, it'll be small quantities, because I'm going to keep it down to a level that I can handle personally in comfort with all my other stuff, so I don't have to hire other people. I'm not hiring folks to do anything else like that. Been there once. It was a disaster. So I'm not going to go there again. So unless I just find spectacular people that I know will do the job, then I might step up. But I was having a hard time with that in Alabama. Anyway, so so I'm not going to say absolutely not, but then again, who knows? We're going to have a grid to run the internet and do sales nationwide anyway. I'm just hopeful I can get some worms before everything goes down. I got to get my water. My water's got to come first. So, guys, the bottom line is that the risk of war is exceedingly high. The bottom line is it could start anytime in terms of us being involved directly, other than some of our generals picking targets. I mean, our forces directly involved. And it may start with Iran. And it may start before even Trump intends for it to start, if the Iranians do a preemptive strike. If they do a preemptive strike, he's going to be mad. But what's it going to do in the long run? We can't realistically put troops on the ground in mountainous Iran. It'd be far worse than Afghanistan, far worse than dealing with the Houthis. I mean, they've got the militias in Iran number like 10 million. They've got substantial forces. They got substantial military. It's not at all like Iraq. Iraq, we just right through there, like a knife through hot butter, like a hot knife through warm butter. We went right through that place. Iran will be a very different story, very difficult, and most of their stuff is deep, deep, deep underground. How do we even take it, even with deep penetrators, even Moabs and Nukes? How do you actually take out all their stuff? And if you make an attack on them, bet that they will, whatever survives, they will double down on making nukes. That will fully commit the resolve to doing that and using them. And then they might use them against us where they might not have otherwise. So our power grid is at risk. Our society is at risk, from outside and from inside, without and within. The risks are great. This is why you need to be prepared. Prep and pray and hope for a better day. Hope these things do not happen. I pray they don't. And I implore you to pray too, that these things don't play out in that fashion. That if we do a strike on Iran, I hope it's very limited, and hope that the government doesn't see this as a direct threat to regime, and hope they don't activate their sleeper cells or launch things at us here in our homeland. But you can't guarantee that. Cannot guarantee it. That's my hope. But, hope in one hand and do something else in the other and see which one gets full the fastest. You know what I mean? But hope and pray. I mean, you still can do that. As long as you got breath in your lungs, you can always have hope. Never give up hope. So the bottom line is get ready, prep, pray. We got how many people in the chat room now? 182. Wow. That's pretty good. Let me see what is happening here with folks. Let's see. We'll check the chat now because I've delivered the main message. The main message is we're at risk of the power grid going down for good, really. Because we ain't going to have the wherewithal to fix it if it crashes, honestly. Because if it takes you 18 months to 36 months to get something you order on the deck, load and dock, and then you don't have the money to order it with, you don't have the people to install it, because 9 out of 10 people have passed away and societies went into total mayhem. I hope that's my cats outside. I'm out there making racket. They do make racket sometimes. But anyway, if you don't have the wherewithal to deal with it, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So just you got to be prepared, guys. You can go to also you can go to prepwithgreg.com, long-term food storage. It may not be the steak and lobster that some companies offer, but it's more affordable. So, you know what your budget is. So check that out. Anyway, my friends, now we got Daniel tweeting in the room here. Prep for pray, praying, pray for prepping. There you go. All right, I'm going to kind of go through the messages here and see what people are saying. All right, Jane. Happy Dog Days. Hey, are you involved with the Dog Days flea market in Ardmore, Ardmore, Tennessee? Yeah, I used to do some videos from there. Michelle, Shaggy. Oh yeah, since some shells in here, I do need to check my PayPal, and I can do that on my phone. I just have to go to the chat here. I like to give credit when somebody gives me a super chat. Usually when she's in, there's something appears there. Her and Kim Possible. If Kim's in the room, I don't know if Kim's here. Anybody heard from John Turner? A to Z. A to Z. Just realize you're not in the van. That's right. And the cat's outside now. I'm not in the van. Let's quit being world policemen. Yes, I agree, Lord. We don't need to be the policeman of the world. We're $36 trillion in debt. We can't afford to play those games anymore. All the Middle East countries have declared war on the U.S. if they attack Iran. There's some countries that would probably just sit by and watch because they're not happy with Iran. Iran's a threat. The Iranian nuclear program would mean that both Egypt and Saudi Arabia would want nukes. So it's a clown show on the world stage. Vape King, couldn't agree more. Hello, Greg, mods and everyone. Colorado Jan, good to see you. She sends me little checks. I appreciate that, Colorado Jan. Salute to you. Let's see. Patty Pray, amen. Let's see. If U.S. attacks and loses half of their B2s, yeah, it could happen. Almost half of our B2s are there. Almost half of them. Where's your whiskey? I don't drink whiskey. Sound outside. Be the wind. Lisa Bradley, I don't have enough information on what is really going on behind the scenes. President Trump holds his cards tightly. He does, and he plays 4D chess, and he lives by the rules of the art of the deal. And so he tries to deal from a strong point, a strong hand. Many Iranian people have been pleading for help. Yeah, some of them do want to be liberated from the government, but we got to make sure the attack is very strategic if we do an attack so that we don't alienate those people. The last thing we want is to get them rallying behind the regime that's there. Because honestly, if we did nothing, the Ayatollahs will fall. That's why I'm not so much in favor of striking them. Given time, the Ayatollahs, their regime is going to crumble. The people there don't like that. They're not happy with it. Their regime is unstable. An attack on them might actually stabilize the regime, may backfire. I hope not. Flat Earth, oh, John Wood. I'd we'll have to clean up your backyard first. Yeah, I got some stuff I need to build more sheds for and unpack more. A lot of my stuff is still in big old totes. A lot of my books, it should be in this bookshelf. And some of the other things that I'd normally have out. And I'm gonna build a little table over here because I got a lot of tax work to do. It may also hamper my video production because I got to get into that real quick. I got to get on my paperwork again. I'm just now unpacking some. Greg, did you find your desktop? I found a computer, but I don't know where the monitor is, the keyboard, or the mouse, so I'm not running it yet. The computer itself is sitting right there, dead as a doorknob. So I got the computer. I just got to find the accessories to it. Either that or buy some. Anyway, let's see. F around and find out. That's kind of what Trump's motto. Yeah, you don't want to mess with Trump. He tends to he'll snap you if you mess with him. Missing Stray Kitten, Cha Cha. Rodney. Oh, yeah, where's Rodney at? Maybe we're not late enough for Rodney. White Lightning. Some good White Lightning songs. I do like some of them old bluegrass moonshining songs. Some of them fun. My brother Bill, he's got a still on the hill where it runs them off a gallon or two. Well, a buzzards in the sky get so drunk they can't fly from the smell of that good old Mountain Dew. All right, let's see. Okay, Gabby, glad you messaged Rodney. Maybe he'll join us here. Maybe he's already in the house. I don't know. Sam is not here yet. Yeah, we hadn't seen him in a while. Really, it's been a while since we've seen Sam Turner. I mean, months. Months. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. We got a lot of older guys in our crowd. Hey, I ran into two people in Taylor, Arizona today at the Walmart. He looked at me and said, "Oh, Green Greg's." Focus is still bad. And one had just moved to Snowflake. One just hit actually really close to me on the side of town I'm on. I'll go outside and see what those cats are up to in a little bit. Maybe the wind. A lot of racket out there. China keeps doing laps around us. Yes. And that's really a message to Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania. If I was Australia, I'd be concerned about it. Stacy has her channel up and running. Oh, good. Quite a busy lady on her farm with her daughter working hard. All right, yeah, she shut down for a while. Just didn't hear from her. She was involved in her Freedom Restoration Foundation. She backed out of that and she quit YouTubing for a while. I was really concerned before. I know she moved. At least I think she moved. But it had a lot to do with it. I know, look, guys, it's hard to move and do all these things and keep things going. China's mobilized their navy and ships, causing interference with Taiwan forces. That's true, Arnold. Do have a problem with my buddy heater if it's cold. Really? Vape King, actually, I got one sitting right here. I just turned it off because I'm heating my house up. That thing provides a lot of heat for this house. It's kept it warm. It's kept it warm in the coldest of days. I didn't like the little my buddies when I was trying to use them in the van. Oh, the fumes killed me. I just couldn't deal with it. But here in the house, I keep a couple windows cracked, one downstairs and one upstairs. That ain't any problem. Glad to see you feeling good. Well, thank you. Good show, Greg. China, China. Hey, Deborah, how you doing? Deborah's no friend from back home. Jesse knows. Greg, Putin will negotiate with Trump because Trump can be trusted. I think so. I think so. So hopefully they'll strike a deal. I'm hopeful there. I'm amazed at just how stupid people can act, destroying someone's car just because it's a Tesla. If you did that to their car, they'd shoot you. I'm gonna do a video on this. Coming up soon, Swordhead News. I have everything dialed up to do the video. Had it all ready to go like a week ago. I just haven't had time to come on there. I have been so busy, guys. And I've been in the evenings, I've been just drop dead tired. I mean, just like falling asleep. I've been hard at it, moving stuff out of storage. My income has dropped about 50%. So I discovered I had to do something, cut expenses real quick. So it's not good for a prepper to have all the stuff locked away off site. So lots of reasons to get my stuff out of storage. You know, some of us sitting in the yard with tarps over it. I bought a 40-foot long Connex and it wouldn't hold half of it. My bus is full of prep stuff right now, or just full of my stuff. Yeah, the Buckner Buster can reach the underground Iran facilities allegedly. Yeah, but you got to know they got so many miles, hundreds of miles of stuff. Where in there do you hit? Now, if we can see cities under pyramids 2,000 feet down, you think maybe we got the technology to see what's what they got. I don't know, guys. What do you think about that? That's a whole nother story, is it not? Cities under the pyramids, 2,000 feet down. Well, I don't know how they come up with calling them cities. It's cylinders, supposedly, with little spiral staircases going down and some big block underneath, allegedly. Hawass, you know, the guy who used to be in charge of Egyptian antiquities. They're misusing the radar. It's all fake. It's not true. Of course, he's against anything that suggests that somebody other than the Egyptians with ropes and block and tackle and rolling blocks on rocks, rolling blocks on logs, which Egypt isn't rich in, logs. He's really all against anything that suggests that that's not the case. Anything that suggests that the Egyptians didn't 100% do it all, they're going to fight against. And good luck getting any excavation authorized out of Egypt. I don't see it happening. Moving is a pain. You're right, Gabby. Big pain. Ooh-wee. And the older you get, the more junk you got, the worse it is. The revenue man, George Jones. I can't figure out how the mice get in. A mouse, I think if we can get his nose in something, the rest is sure to follow, just like a camel getting in a tent. Red kitties are wanting in, there's always a reason. It's just sounds more like wind, but it's just on that corner of the house. The wind usually comes from this side. I believe that maintaining both the freedoms and continuation of our sovereignty are worth fighting for every day, all day, but button our noses and other countries' business negative. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Sustainable Stewards is Stacy's channel. Okay, Sustainable Stewards. That's a good name. Sustainable Stewards. The cat is probably hears you talking. Well, it could be, Vape King. Could be. Yeah, when I go outside, they're all following me around. Carol, if what? Jesse, people with Tesla should figure out how to put electric charges on their body. Oh Lord. That's a good handle for YouTube. We're divine. Where do you think Brinker works? Seriously, we have never deployed a first strike capability to Dago Garcia comparable to what's there right now. Almost half our B2 fleet. Trump means business. Now, it could just be a sign. He could be doing it, just to play his normal art of the deal bargaining, to show his resolve. But he's come out and said that, we would bomb Iran unlike anything they've ever seen if they don't come to the negotiating table. And right now, they're balking and negotiating. So, and the Iranians are talking about doing a preemptive strike. So what do you think? You need to pay attention right now. You really need to pay attention. You need to be prepared. It's always my bottom line. So I've always been teaching on here. Be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Look all's changing in the world right now. The world's changing a lot, changing real fast. Things that you wouldn't have thought would happen have happened. And I'm expecting a lot more of that in the near future. Oh, Kim Possible's in here. I moved from Texas to Maine. All I got to say is, wow. Hey, Kim Possible. Wow, that is a big move. I came close to moving to Maine. Who knows? Might still wind up there one day. We have 19 refuelers over there right now. Yeah, that's pretty serious. 19 refuelers. Guys, you don't put 19 KC-135s or whatever we're using for refueling aircraft in a place for nothing. And that's not the only support aircraft there. Stacy said her channel was only focused on farming. Yeah, okay. I understand that, New Days. 4 years ago when Stacy had a video with ring rails. Yeah, it's been a while. And so, yeah, well, when you talk stuff outside of farming, it gets to be a problem. Well, since we got Kim Possible in the house and we got Michelle, I'm going to check my PayPal account. Because if you may not know, there's a button over on greenregs.com, the donate button. It's been real popular with those two. So I'm going to check it right now because I can do this since I'm not podcasting from my phone. I do it from my phone. I can't do this. Let's see. Because I like to give credit when it's due. Hey, awesome. 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 We got a super chat from Michelle Young, $10, and a super chat from Kim Possible. Looks like she gave a $20 donation. Salute to you both. Thank you very much. Yeah, so if you go to greengregs.com and go to the buy worms page or hit the donate button, that's the only button on there that you can't buy worms. All the other buttons have been shut off until I can get up running with worms again. I got to redo the whole page. I just haven't had time. A lot of rework needed there. But Kim Possible, salute to you. Michelle Young, salute to you. Thank you both. Thank you both immensely. That will help me out a lot, especially since my YouTube, my websites are usually funded through GoDaddy going to my PayPal account, and it's been pretty flat and almost zero, so that helps. I appreciate that very much. So, like I said, I like to give credit where credit's due. That's when I checked that. Oh, we got a super chat in the room. We're divine. Only love. I appreciate you. Well, salute to you. Thank you very much. There, we're divine. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Oh, we're now on the 1st of April. Let's hope we don't get a big April Fool's joke today. There you go. Michelle's sharing the link there for that to donate directly. All righty. I've been really low on super chats here for past month. Very low. But I hadn't done a video in a week. I was doing some video, a fair number of videos until this past week. I just got too busy with trying to get everything out of my storage. So Maine would be neat. Well, northern Maine is one of the top places to go for prepping. That's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to cover, I'm doing another video talking about top prepping locations down the States based on what AI's told me, which pretty much matched what I did. I did a video on that years ago, years and years ago. So we'll cover that again. I love Maine. Been here since, I can't read under the heart there, but 55 years of 55 acres of privacy. There you go. Since 2010. Okay. For cheaper. Wow. Okay. New Brunswick, cheaper prices. Let's see. Yeah. Thank you for the donations. Oh, yeah. The Maine's governor. Well, you got one more vote now. Maybe do something about that governor there. And I'm going to vote against a certain astronaut here in Arizona that's in the Senate. He is not getting my vote anymore. And he never got it in the first place. Yeah. Scott Kelly. Nope. I'm going to vote against him. Anybody runs against him, I'm going to vote for. I'm going to vote against him. Holy lock and smoke moly. Anyway, he's out putting out disinformation, telling people that he's out telling people that Elon is cutting Social Security. He's not doing that. And they're just putting out all kind of junk. That's what they're doing. They're fear mongering. They're putting out a bunch of hooey, scaring people up. Anyway, tiny house looking good. Well, thank you, just Mike. Peppermint Patty. I've got a kid who wants me in northern Minnesota. Oh, okay. Well, that wouldn't be such a bad place, other than the cold. Just be careful in Canada. You got to remember, the Canadians are going to be cannibals when it gets down to it. What do you think about that, Arnold? Cold. It's hard to raise crops up there. So maybe in the Kilwana area, British Columbia. So Mark Kelly. Oh, yeah, Scott's his brother, I guess. Yeah, Mark Kelly. There you go. Thank you for correcting me there. Yeah, his wife was Gabby Clifford, I believe. She unfortunately, somebody took her out. And she was actually going to be a good girl, but, for a Democrat. But anyway, Oh, in southern Maine. Really? She hadn't told us yet, has she? While we were all talking about Doge, something getting pancreatic cancer after. Oh, hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of big questions. A lot of stuff I really can't talk about on this channel. I think I've done a little bit. I've got a Rumble channel. I've done some videos on. It's been a long time since I went on there because it's hard to do anything with Rumble. It really is. It's hard to do anything with YouTube, to be honest, but Rumble's even harder. Awesomeness. You got your house. Yeah, I'm in here. I'm in my bug out location. I'm living in my bug out zone. That's what you need to know. I'm living it. This is my bug out, and I'm living in it. I take it seriously. I put my words, my actions, and everything where my mouth is. That's pretty big. Anyway, hey, if you don't make fun of yourself, somebody else will. Jesse, Greg, we need to find out what Kelly did that made China so happy. They gave him full dress motors. Oh, on China TV. Well, I mean, that's why Biden wasted a lot of our ammo going to Ukraine, playing whack-a-mole with the Houthis, so that we wouldn't have so much to use against China later. Because, you know, a certain son of his had certain connections and certain things transacted, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, 51st state. Hey, Arnold, do you live in the 51st state? Impossible. Is a lot like it. Okay, let's see. Get the worms going. Yeah, I need to do that. Greenland, USA. Yeah, I need to have a Green Greg's in Greenland, right? What's Trump called it? Red, white, and blue land. But I believe it'll always be Greenland. Yeah, Trump isn't really making a lot of discussion about that. Anyway, how long we been going here? We've been online here. How long? This ain't telling me. Where I am, there's a lot that think like me. Good. Good thing is most of Portland's doctors are from Massachusetts. Yeah, I guess you can get some good doctors there. So, New Days has had to see a lot of doctors. So if you don't know about doctors in there, you better ask her. She is definitely rung those bells. She has rung those bells good. 72 minutes. Okay, Gabby, thanks. Well, I guess I've been gabbing long enough. I got to get up in about 4 hours, and I can't go straight to bed. I got a few things to do before I go to bed. So I'm gonna get probably about maybe 3.5 hours sleep if I'm lucky. So that's one reason I don't too much do Monday nights. Third Trump term. Hey, maybe. Maybe. Well, let's hope that he lives up to his promises. He is in certain areas doing it. Yeah, they're trying to cut the government. They're trying to cut the government. That needs to happen because, guys, we can't afford. We're 20. We're so far in debt. Trillions so far in debt, guys. $36 trillion in debt. I mean, we can't keep going. The United States will fall apart. We just can't keep going this way. We won't be able to pay the interest on the debt. Something's got to be done. And, it's painful. Yeah, sure. But with these tariffs, you think, what's it going to do? It's going to be painful at first, but it's going to cause more companies to produce more stuff here in the United States, more jobs here, more tax base here, and you're getting taxes from the revenue of the tariffs, maybe offset the taxes are taken out of our pockets, and maybe pay down the national debt with that. So that's what we need to look at. We got to do something. Something's got to change. Israel has no debt. I guess not. We throw a lot of money over there. Anyway, so fed up with U.S. people, or we're fed up with this big bloated government. Most of us are. I mean, the people voted against the big government. They voted. When Trump campaigned, he campaigned saying he was going to set up Doge and he was going to put Elon in charge of Doge. And people said, nobody voted for Elon. Well, yeah, they did. Most certainly because he was campaigning on that. Anyway. Okay, well, hope you collect some good people around there. Kim, make contact with New Days. I mean, y'all in the same state now. Maine is just so big. Maybe y'all can strike up an alliance there and get some cooperative things going. If the darn politicians would stop stealing our money, we wouldn't be in the financial state we're in. No kidding. How all those Congress critters get so darn rich, making, 200, maybe 250,000 a year. That don't equate to tens of millions of dollars, my friends. No, sir. Yeah, also, oh yeah. Matt, if I mention that ship, YouTube, I'd mention that one of my videos. YouTube, tuck it down. YouTube, tuck it down. Yeah, you got to watch that country. You got to watch it. You got to remember who set that country up. Balfour Agreement was orchestrated by the Rothschilds. You look around the Parliament building there in what do they call it, Knesset in Israel. What's the road called around it? Rothschild. Who paid for all the government buildings there? Rothschilds. Rothschilds. Oh yeah. Does that sound like something God called together? Rothschilds. Yeah. Who set up the Nadi Illuminati? Saying it kind of backwards there. May the 1st, 1776, Adam Weishaupt. And it said that he was working for who? Rothschilds. So think about that. Gotta go, guys. Love you all. Yes, thank you there, Michelle. Good to see you. Now, I'm not ratting on the people. I'm just saying that there's been some nefarious dealings with that. Might or might not be related to that letter that General Pike allegedly wrote to Gillespie, Mazzini, back in 1871, about 3 world wars. Is that real? Strange. I don't know, guys. Probably not exactly as it was translated, because some of the language and verbiage as we've heard it is a little more later period than what you would see in 1871. But even from the 1920s, when it was written about by this guy, bishop in Chile, his name was Allen D or something like that. He the one that originally wrote about that. If you take it from that point forward, it's very prophetic. Just saying, something strange. I don't know. There's some holes in the story, but it also kind of rings. Something strange. Albert Pike, Adam Weishaupt. They just might. Yeah, something to pay attention to there. And the House of Klaus. Look what's happening in the world today. It really seems to fit. Prince Andrew's victim, Virginia, was, oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Yeah, why haven't we seen the Epstein files yet? Now, there are some people saying they're really working on redacting victim names and victim family information. And there's like 80,000 pages or something crazy. They got a lot to go through. We'll see. Maybe that's the case. Hopefully we'll hear something. Oh, you know what really bugs me? And y'all need to write Trump on this. Trump apparently is interested in making the United States a token member, honorary member, associate member, or something like that of the Commonwealth of Nations under King Charles. Oh my gosh. No. Trump, no. What was 1776 all about? We shouldn't pay no homage to no king. Trump apparently likes King Charles. What this guy is exceedingly globalist. What in the world? What is that all about? Give me a break. No. Everybody should write them and say, no, not no, but no, no. We don't want to be part or in any way associated with the Commonwealth of Nations. If anything, they should join us, not us join that mess. No way. No way. Old fellowship, skulls and bones have deep political roots. They too deep, too deep. Anyway, there you go, Matt. Macaroni. Yeah. Macaroni. Macaroni. I gotta come up with some good names for some of these other leading leaders. I believe it was being sarcastic. I hope so, Carol, but it sounded like he was serious. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We don't need no part of that, you know. What a stinking family. Oh my gosh. King Charles. Hey, my buddies over in the UK, you can keep it. You can keep all that mess to yourself. Y'all happy with it? Fine. Even when I was a kid, I hated seeing all these rags, you know, like National Enquirer used to always promote the British royalty all the time, something what the king was doing, or the queen, the prince, yeah, and the queen, blah, 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 blah. What a mess. We shouldn't be paying no attention to that clown circus. That is not for us. That's not for freedom. No, sir. Amen, Matt. I'm with you there. No NATO, or economic forum. I said we need to pull out of all this stuff. We need to pull everything out of Europe and the Mideast. We need to pull all our forces out of Europe, all our forces out of the Mideast, and get the heck out. They can take care of themselves. That's my humble opinion. If you differ with me, say so. I do believe in freedom of speech. Just be respectful. All right. God bless you, Greg. Thumbs up for all done over the years. So I thank you there. Appreciate that, Timber 23. So King Charles started this whole nonsense about men and tampons. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What about all the money that we were funding for studies of men's menstrual cycles? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Redneck prepper. Rock on. There you go. There you go. King Charles won't be here forever. Yeah, but you know, one of those other kids would take over. They ain't gonna be any better. That whole family's a stinking mess. The whole notion of royalty is totally against what America stands for. We don't need no stinking royalty. None. In any way. In the end days, there will be wars and rumors of wars. It's not what they talk about that worries me. It's what they keep quiet, such as, yep, electromagnetic storms. Yep, yep. That's what I've been talking about. Charles has been, oh, really, since the late 60s. Nothing surprised me with that stinking group. Nothing surprises me. Oh, Lord, new days. Oh, I've heard rumors that I've heard rumors that Camilla, whatever her name is trans. I don't know. There's some funny, strange rumors going around. I don't know. Expect the markets to suffer a major correction in July the 1st. That would not surprise me. It's overbloated. Universe 25. Remember, what was the 20? Universe 25. Anyway, what's your opinion on King Charles asking Trump to join? Didn't I just mention we don't need nothing to do with it? Nothing. We do not need to be a part of the Commonwealth in any shape, form, or fashion. We fought a war to get away from the Brits, to get away from royalty. Our whole system is antithetical to royalty. Royalty has no place in a freedom-loving nation. Freedom-loving people. We don't need no stinking royalty. That's my opinion. Definitely when he was running around on Diane. Interesting. Yeah. Nasty people. I think royalty's nasty. Nasty. Don't need nothing to do with it. Nothing. What's going to be April 1st full gig they're going to play on us? Gosh, don't ask. Don't tempt fate. We might find out. We'll know before the day's over. Holy smoke, guys. Holy smoke. Go. $3,095 in Oz. Minimal at end. I told you guys gold was going to go up. Told you guys the price of food would go up. So yeah, go to defythegrid.com. They got a proposition. If you find them a better deal somewhere else, they'll meet it or beat it. Now, how do you beat that? Use the code GreenGugs as your discount code, and you'll get 1% off. I'll get 1%. 40 guys, I swear the Royals still make all the major calls here in Canada. That's sad. That's why we don't be part of the Commonwealth, Baxter. That's why the United States don't need to be part of that. Yeah. Well, you got one of your main roads there in Toronto area, Queensway, cutting through the South, Queensway, and Canadian coins. And I remember the Canadian $1 bill had Queen Elizabeth back when they had a $1 bill. I used to have some of those. I don't know what happened to them. I had some Canadian $1 bills once upon a time. Now they got the dollar coin called a loonie, which was better than American dollar coin, by the way, because it was, kind of had flat surfaces on it. You put your finger in your pocket and you know that was not a quarter. Yeah, share my video. Thank you there, Colorado Jen. Share my videos. When the markets crash, they will take you to war. Oh yeah, Gerald Salenti. He's an interesting guy. Boy, he's been preaching it too. All right. Thank you, New Days, for sharing that link. All righty, folks. It is exceedingly late for me. I've got to get up in just a little bit. I got a meeting in 4 hours, which means I got to get up 3.5 hours, and I'm probably 30 minutes to an hour to go to bed. So we're going to have to call it a night here. Tell us, Canadian toonie. Well, there's a Canadian coin called the loonie because it's got a picture of a loon on it, an image of a loon. It's a bird, kind of like a stork, or it's a big water bird, a loon. So they call it a loonie. Seriously, that's what the Canadian dollar coin is. It's golden color. Came out before our Susan B. Anthony dollar. Anyway, love your brain. I love your brain. Greetings to you, Green Reds. Be well, sir. Thank you. Jesse says, according to the Hopi legend, we are not a crossroads. Either peace, we are at a crossroads. Either peace for a great future, or war will not be good to come. I got a local friend who told me that the Hopis meet together and they change their prophecies all the time. I don't know. There's all this stuff's made up. I don't know. You tell me. You hear a lot of stuff out there. Don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that. Good to see you, Peppermint Patty. A toonie is a $2. Well, a toonie. Okay, I didn't know about the toonie. I guess that's a new one. Sleeping is overrated. Yeah. I got Mr. Greg. Been a while since I've been here. Great to see you again. All right. Hey, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen you. The real, how do you say that? The recalcitrant one. I don't. Pardon me for having problems pronouncing that. Anyway, all right, Cuban Nurse Prepper. Good to see you in the house. We're about to go. Been a while. All righty, we still got 182 people in the house. Very good, very good. So if you're just joining, catching on the rewind, I put some warnings out about where we're at and the dire straits we're in, and how things could go down any minute, any minute, any minute. Bottom line is prep and pray, hope for a better day. Keep your eyes wide open, head on swivel, because we got just as much trouble here at home as we got abroad. If you don't believe that, just watch the liberals eating around attacking other liberals who bought Teslas because they were told it was the thing to do. They were told it was the green deal. You're saving the environment. Be good. Be a good little liberal. Buy a Tesla. They bought a Tesla. Now what's happening? They're being attacked by the liberals. They'll attack their own. What will they do to us? Watch out. Eyes wide open. Head on a swivel. Anyway, guys, get up for the chopper. Oh, lordy, lordy. Brandy B, good to see you here. All righty, folks. Well, we are family, this channel. I love you all. Appreciate all the support I get from you guys. You cheer me up. Your chat always cheers me up. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods, for everything you do. And thank you all for being here. Share the videos because this platform likes to stomp on me. They don't like conservatism. So share my videos. Make a comment. Comment somebody else's comment, after the video post. That always helps. And make sure you give us some thumbs up and mainly share them. The master cylinder. Good night, Greg. And fair selling. Well, thank you. I got some master cylinders on some vehicles out here. And we have fantastic nights staying safe. Love you, Greg, says Arnold. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, one and all. To one and all, a good night, a good day wherever you are. Ho, ho, ho.